Okay, now hopefully this is working. I was having issues with Zoom. Now hopefully StreamYard's working, and it does seem to be. Okay, good. Okay, so I'll start again. So it's been one hell of a day. Well, one hell of the last couple of days helping Jason Operio from Iloilo Athletics with his virtual meet. It's been a lot of checking of results, type-ups, write-ups, uploading videos, editing videos, and counter-checking results, and more checking of results. So it's been a pretty busy, long weekend with Friday as well. Anyway, it was a rather successful Philippine Nationals 3,000 meter virtual championships, and we'll be later discussing some of those results. Now, I'm just going to begin off with some breaking news from Southeast Asian athletic news, and the breaking news is that this guy here, the Thai American Eagle, Kieran Tuntivate, has just absolutely smashed his Southeast Asian record in the 10,000 meter men's. I'm going to just read out the article again. I read it out on Zoom, but I wasn't live. So I'm just going to read out the article on the Thai American Eagle. So SEA Games 5,000 and 10,000 meter champion Kieran Tuntivate of Thailand over-delivered on his brave statement that he would break 28 minutes this weekend. Tuntivate absolutely smashed his Southeast Asian 10,000 meter record of 28 minutes 45.61 set in Raleigh, USA on the 29th of March 2019. The 24-year-old Thai American who studies at Harvard took nearly 1.5 minutes off his previous best with an Olympic qualifying time of 27 minutes 17 seconds 0.14. Kieran went under the Olympic standard of 27 minutes 28, placing 5th in a tightly contested finish at the San Juan Capistrano meet in California, USA. Mark Scott of Great Britain won from Americans Grant Fisher, Woody Kincard, and Ben True. So there was only a 5-second gap between these 5 men, and all of them hit under the 27 minute 28 Olympic standard for the men's 10,000 meters at the Tokyo Olympics. Kieran became the second Southeast Asian athlete behind Ernest Obiena of the Philippines, pole vault, to qualify outright in the Olympics in track and field. According to Let'sRun.com, Kieran has the 4th fastest time in Asian track and field history behind 3 athletes who were originally from Africa. The 5 sub-27:20 Asian runners in history. So Kieran joins an elite group of 5. Okay, now the next update on Southeast Asian athletic news is that Russell Nasser Taib, the Malaysian record holder in the 200 meters and the SEA Games bronze medalist in the 200 meters, has now opened his season in Nathan, Queensland, Australia, with a opening time of 21.24 in the men's 200 meters. So that's a second piece of athletic news there. Now, I'm going to share some other results that we have. So one of the things, before I get into that, one of the things that I've had is that on Facebook, where there seems to be like a little bit of a block with Australian internet users being able to post news articles. I've been able to post some, but I've been limited with some. So I would encourage. So now I've decided this is an opportunity to grow my YouTube channel, which has over 5,000 subscribers at the moment, at youtube.com/Pinoyathletics. I didn't really pay much attention to watering that garden. The page. So now I'm sorting that out at the moment and trying to grow the YouTube channel by putting up more videos there. Obviously, that's a source of traffic to the website that I've kind of neglected. Anyway, we'll share some images from today from the virtual meet before we announce the results and the winners. But first off, I'd like to share some of the results from the 10,000 meter run that was held at University of the Philippines earlier today. I mean, we also had, you know, that competition running as well at the same time. I don't know if you can see that. I might have to zoom in a bit. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. More zoom in, more zoom in, zoom in. Okay, hopefully that should be big enough now to see on the screen, I hope. I might zoom in a bit more because it's not zoom. Oh, no. Okay. Maybe move it down a bit so we can actually see what's on there. All right, so concurrently with the national 3000 virtual championships, running at the same time was the 10K actual run, Bakabakan won at League 1 at UP Academic Oval, UP Diliman, and these were some of the results we had. So in the results, we had the winner, Junel Gobotia, the representative of the Philippines in the SEA Games in the steeplechase. He won the event in 34.35. EJ Lee Jr., who I think also was busy and joined our 3K event as well while he was at it, was second in 34 minutes 48. And the race organizer himself, Wilfred Esforma, was third in 34.51. So these are the results. I'll put them up on my website later for everybody to view at pinoyathletics.info. Those will be going up either later today or tomorrow. Shout outs to our people watching tonight. Greetings to Giant Martin James Esteban, the Polaroid record holder in the triple jump. Reginald, a long distance coach from Singapore, originally from Bago City. Jocelyn Eligerin, who joined this event and our last event. Joshua Navo, Christian Ayuko, and Coach Shaolin Barot from Kagendi Oro. And also Rommel Rubico. Okay, so now we're going to discuss the results of the event. Just bear with me for a minute while I open those up. Actually, but before we go into discussing the event itself, we've got some photos to share. So let's have a quick look. So I'm just going to have some acknowledgement. So yeah, so this is one of the photos from the event today at Binan. It was good to see the people's champion, Sony Wagdos, the SEA Games bronze medalist in the 5,000 meters. You know, despite the fact it's COVID and obviously it hasn't been very easy to train, and he's just getting back into the groove of things at the moment, and on the grind towards getting ready for his second SEA Games at the end of the year. He opened his season with 3,000 meters in Binan, and it was really good to see a higher profile athlete of SEA Games medalist, in fact, reach out to the athletic community and just get involved and help pace some kids. There were three young athletes in the event, and he wasn't in the best of shape himself because he's just getting back into training. But he's on the grind, and he'll improve as the season progresses. Obviously, still a lot of work to do, but got out there. Always has that smile on his face. Had a good support crew come out to support him. Always a people pleaser, and we're very thankful to have him at the event, and the fact that he really helped out the younger athletes today, and really provide a lot of motivation. So it was good to have Sony at the event, and we hope to see him and other SEA Games level athletes at join these events, because it's really to help them on the way to the preparing for the SEA Games and the SEA Games trials and that sort of thing. So shout out to Laika Jana as well. So I'm going to share some more photos with you today. Lots of happy faces out there, which was good to see. So this is at Binan Oval, which is now open to the public in Laguna. So no problems there. The oval's been now open to the public. So as you can see, it is very open to the public because it's always a swamp of joggers. So it doesn't get more public than having joggers at an oval, meaning that the oval's now allowably open for everyone to use down there in Binan and Laguna. So these are the kids who ran with Sony Wagdos today from the Columbia Athletics team. So a shout out to Team Escalar Athletics and their coach York Tamayo, who actually helped pace that guy in the black for the last 150 meters of the race. The guy in the black improved 15:48 to 12:21 in the race today. So it was much appreciated, and PBs all around for kids, and all around a pretty good event. And just moving on to some more photos we had of from the event. Let's have a look here. There we go. There we go. One probably, if we're talking about taking, if we're talking about getting prizes for taking selfies, what about this one? Taking a selfie of a selfie. So very good work. And what else have we got here before we go into the full results? Oh yeah, I'll discuss my next event after I've read the full results, because I think we need to move into the into the results now of the event. So I'm just going to see if I can zoom it. I'm going to have to zoom these results in because they're going to be really, what's the word, difficult to read out. So I'll just share that screen. And these results will all be available on the Pinoyathletics website later on, so stay tuned. I'm not sure if that's probably visible, I would say. Okay, so these are the results of the, well, let's change that top part. There we go. Done. So now that's a bit better. Okay. All right. So these are the full results of the competition. So we're going to announce the top three, and I'm just checking to make sure that they have been announced officially on the group before I continue with this. Okay, so all right, in the men, these are the results. So these are the top results. So I'll stick to probably the top 10. So as agreed by Jason, he did as the organizer. So Pinoyathletics was just helping, but this really was Jason's event. And as Jason stated, he was offering prize money for the top three. Oh yeah, but before I announce the winners and that sort of thing, and the prize money and that sort of thing, I want to give a very special shout out to a good friend of mine, Catherine K. Santos, the dude, for joining us tonight. Now, the 3,000 meters virtual championships, the top three. So announcing the top three. Shout out to Jerix as well. He should probably be in here with me in this room. I'll just... Anyhow, the top three in our competition. So, in first place, the Palarong Pambansa 1500 meter record holder, the Palarong Pambansa 5000 meter champion, the winner of the BBGH run PH 10,000 meters in January. Also, the winner of the Pinoyathletics Talking Chinoy 5,000 meters in January. In February, the runner-up in the Pinoyathletics Fantasia 1,000 meter event, and also again the champion in the 2021 Philippine National Virtual 3,000 meter championships. The rising star, the rising star of men's long distance running, the pride of Iloilo, Alfrense Braza, with a time of 8 minutes 51, a new personal best. In second place, Ed Carlo Sibeliano, the NCAA champion in the 800 and the 1500 meters in the 2019 NCAA Philippines. Runner-up with a personal best of 8 minutes and 57 seconds. And in third place, just 18 years of age, a Western Visayas regional runner-up in the 1500 meters in previous years, coming out of a emerging power squad from Bargo City, and from Coach Reginald, based in Singapore. So he's another online coach who's really doing his bit to help develop athletes in the Philippines. MJ Maldegua with a personal best of 9 minutes and 3 seconds. And I'm just going to read down the top 10 and make any notable remarks about those in the top 10. So, fourth, John Martir from Bago City, only 16 years of age. Benji Duhak from Agusan del Sur, from NGRC. The other two boys from H12 coaching. Mary-Kevin Revilia from Violet Runners in Mandawi City with a time of 9:27. UAAP 1500 and 800 record holder Elbrin Neri from Tungub City, representing the Pinoyathletics team with a time of 9 minutes 34. Rojan Aguirre from Iloilo, representing CPU runners with a time of 9 minutes 34. Roberto Panganiban from Bakabakan, representing Maravillas runners with a time of 9 minutes 38. And in 10th place, the SEA Games bronze medalist in the 10,000 metres, Sony Wagdos, with a opening time and a very easy win at Binan today, representing Lipas from originally from Davra and representing Lipa City Batangas, representing the AETDC mentors with a time of 9 minutes 42. So I'm not going to go through the whole list because we'll probably be here all night, but the full list will be available on Pinoyathletics. And I'm just going through the shout-outs. Jirex Quintinho, Vincent Barredo, Harley Assist Duel, and a wow from Dawn, and a wow back to Dawn. Okay. Now, it'll announce the winners in the top 10 in the women. So, we'll just say that, you know, in the men, 8:51. Going back to the men, and this is some other additional statistical useful info in the men. So in the men, nobody really got that close to tickling the national record of the great Burtek, Eduardo Buenavista, which is 8:17. So that record was well and truly safe. Burtek, of course, now the national long distance coach. His record was well and truly safe. It didn't look in danger. Absolutely no threats to it at this stage. A bit of work to do to get towards that sort of time of 8:17. Still, you know, light years of around 34 seconds gap from that time. However, the national junior record, which has stood for 42 years, of Nelson Kadiva, set in 1979, before most of us were even born, of 8 minutes 56.2. That, you know, MJ Maldeguya, who's born in 2002 and, you know, ran that 9:03 on a dirt track, you know, got pretty close to touching that record up. It probably won't be long before you know, with some good meets in there, that MJ will like look at erasing that sort of time. So again, these meets are good because we like, it highlights not only established stars like the likes of well, we could say Brazza is now an emerging established star, Neres and the Wagdosses, but we also, and, you know, Ed Carlos, you know, sort of an emerging talent, but he's already an NCAA champion, so he's an emerging he's a rising star, I would say. But we also find new athletes we didn't even know about, like Mel Digua and Matur. These are young guys, who are with private coaches that are coming up. That these are names to definitely watch for. But now I'll go to the women's results. So again, in the women's results, the national records and the national junior records are looking, very, very safe from anyone really in this field. We didn't really have a superstar athlete in this event, like the likes of a Tabal or a Christina Lasgo or Jordan Gagnell or anybody of that, SEA Games medal caliber, but, it was still a tightly contested competition. And, the national record of Marietta Tumbangan Magno is looking very safe, I would say, because there's more than a minute between her and the winner. But we'll be announcing now, and I'll be giving a little bit of information on the top 3, on the top 10 actually. A shout out to Paul Diaz and Leo Olau. So, so I'll just begin off by discussing the winner, and then I'll scroll through the top 10. So, the winner of this event was a surprise because, she's not a conventional runner with a lot of speed, but she really, has good endurance, and she really distributes and, uses and has very, masterful, wise knowledge of her pace. So she was able to really, use her many years of experience as an athlete, to get the edge over her stronger, younger, faster opponents by running a smarter race. So the winner of the women's 2021 3,000 meter national virtual championships of the Philippines is none other than Lani Cadona Adawag from Lingayen, Pangasinan, and a proud member of Team Titus, a stable of athletes coached by the legendary walkathon coach Saturnino Salazar, also known as Coach Titus. Lani Adawag, she won the Pinoyathletics 5,000 meter virtual event. I would say that 3,000 meters is, it's a bit shorter than the event she usually runs, and it's probably the shortest event she can probably still do good at. I mean, she runs everything from 3,000 right up to the marathons. A well-established athlete on the Philippine road circuit. Also, the very interesting thing about Lani is she already has 2 kids, and she's already around 30 years of age. But she said, the last time she ran a 3,000 meter event was 11 minutes and 19.20, way back at 2009 Philippine National Track and Field Championships in Lingayen, when she won the junior title. And among the athletes she defeated in that race as a junior was Jessa Mangsat from Baguio, who eventually became the Philippine record holder in the steeplechase, and also was a member of the national training pool for a number of years. Shout out also to Brains Bossing and the Boar, Ninoy Mariag. Okay, now, so Lani Adawag, time of 10:53. Another masterful run with a 26-second improvement off her personal best. So a new personal best of 10:53. In second place, another one of the older athletes in the field and one of the older athletes on the circuit, Nian Basena, who first came to fame as the famous Milo girl on the old Milo adverts, jumping over the hurdle. with the backpack on. Yeah, so Nian also another athlete who began like Lanny more in the middle distance events, but as got older moved into long distance events. So she is the still the UAAP record holder in the 1500 meters, and four-time Milo marathon half marathon champion. So Nian again in our last 5K competition was the runner-up behind Lanny, and again she's finished with the silver behind Lanny again. This time with a performance of 11:04. So she's based in Bonifacio Global City Taguig for running for Barcelona's Running Warriors with a time of 11 minutes and 4 seconds. Okay, in the third place is Edna Magtubo from Iloilo, another young runner who is representing Iloilo Athletics. She took the third place with 11:26. So Edna is the national Prisa champion in the 15 and 3,000 meters. In fourth place, Paui Fonea, bronze medalist in the SEA Games duathlon meet in the mixed relays in the last SEA Games from Cavite, representing Standard Insurance, and the Philippine Navy, was fourth in 11 minutes 29. April Joy Alampayan from Bohol, Lom athletes, took fifth in 11:29.3. Ruby Gale Hoyo from Iloilo, representing Western Visayas State University, took sixth in 11:32. She's the SCOA National 10,000 meter champion. And finalizing the field, I will only read you down to the last 10. Leslie De Lima from Camarines Sur, Rinconada, representing the team Rinconada. She is the back-to-back Palarong Pambansa secondary girls champion in the 1500 and the 3000 meters, and just getting back into shape, improving from her last couple of runs. So 2018 and 2019 1500 and 3000 meter secondary girls champion of the Palarong Pambansa, with a PB of about 10:30, so 10:20, 10:30. So still a while to go to get to there. She took third place in the Pinoyathletics Talking Chinoy virtual meet, behind the older athletes Lanny and Nian. She also, she took fourth in the 1,000 meters in the Fantasia Pinoyathletics meet. In eighth place, Mylene Campomar from Don Carlos Bukidnon, representing DCRC, BTR, and BBG, with time 11:58. Ninth place, April Rose Diaz, another established runner on the road running circuit of the Philippines from General Santos City, representing Riot here with a time of 12 minutes. And rounding up the top 10 is Davina Mahusi from Camarines Norte, Cantafa, with a time of 12:18. So Mahusi is the Palarong Pambansa bronze medalist in the secondary girls 200 and 400 meters. So sprinter stepping up and trying some middle distances. She also ran a brilliant 300 meters in the Athletics Fantasia meet in a straight line on an airport runway, and also stepped up and won the 1,000 meters at the Pinoyathletics Fantasia meet. So shout outs again to those watching. Jezreel Baggio, also shout out to him. So that's just the announcements on the show. So everybody watching, who joined this event, thank you very much for supporting the event and keeping the flame going strong for Philippine athletics. As this was Jason Operio and Elo Athletics community, and Pinoyathletics was more than happy to step in and help our friends with this event. We will now pass this over to Jason. He's not able to get on to Zoom because of internet connections, but he will update everyone in the room about the certificates and the prizes being awarded to the top 3 as promised at the start of this meet. So Jason will discuss in more detail in the Facebook group regarding that. Now, before I go, I'm just going to quickly advertise our next upcoming meet, organised this time by Pinoyathletics, known as the SprinTopia event. Now, with more stadiums and ovals opening up across the country, it is to the public. It is now more possible to have these virtual events in athletic stadiums. So this next event will be exclusively for athletic stadiums, unless there can be some assurance of accurate measurements if held elsewhere. Now, just sharing the screen. Stop that screen and share another screen, which will be this screen, this one. So this is the SprinTopia event. The SprintTopia event, organised by Pinoyathletics, will be scheduled from March the 13th to March the 14th. The event's taking place so purely for the sprinters, 100, 200 and 400 metres. Please email your name, event choices, year of birth, best time, venue, and track oval being used. So we do require a track oval being used this time. Whether it's dirt or rubberized is fine, but we require a track oval for joining this meet. Also, I would also provide gender as well, because some names are a little bit confusing. So email that all to pinoyathletics@gmail.com. We're not charging any entry fee, as we're trying to keep athletics free and accessible, and we know people are struggling with financial difficulties, as a lot of people are out of work and that trying to put food on the table. So we're not going to be charging any entry fees for this meet, as pure Pinoy athletics events have been free. So the 60 metres was free, the Fantasia was free, and now this is free. Just when we help out other race organisers, if they want to charge to have prize money, that's cool. So there's 2 ways you can do these meets: either prize money and pay to enter, or free and no prize money, which is what I decided to do, because I just feel that more so than the prize money, the importance is giving athletes some meets to sort of keep them motivated. So entries must be in no later than March the 10th, and absolutely no late entries will be accommodated. But put it this way, there's been, I opened up the entries, so I opened up the entries during the Fantasia meet on the 7th, so pretty much I've given athletes, I've given everybody about 35 days, to put entries in. So there's absolutely no excuse, because this has been well advertised, and it's been well, it's been well reminded about this event. So, we will absolutely not tolerate any late entries. And some people learned at the last meet that we're very strict on that, and we will continue to be very strict on that, because, you've got to enter. You can't just decide and and ah at the last minute and go, oh yeah, I might enter. Well, once the deadline's over, then that's pretty much it. You've got to make sure that you enter on time for these events, just like anything else. If you're going to jump on a bus, if you're an hour late, you miss the bus. It's not going to be there for you. And if you go to a job interview and you're an hour late, you're for sure not going to get the job, and the interviewer is not going to wait around. So I don't see how having a deadline to enter a competition is any different, and that just shows a higher level of professionalism when it comes to running meets that we need to stick to. And you know, as soon as you make compromises for that, the whole structure and the whole consistency of the meat just falls apart. And you know, we need to make sure that we're consistent in what we do and fair in what we do, and we don't, you know, bend rules for people, because once you start bending rules, then you're no longer running the meet, and everybody else is basically dictating how things are being done. So anyway, shout out to the rest of the people watching. So York, Tamayo, Evalau, Abutis, and Frigilin Roncalis. Okay, that's it for tonight. So that's 40 minutes, and I think that's it. That's all. So all the entries, all the people who entered the meet, that you can follow up with Jason Operio regarding the certificates. He'll be doing those, and also organising the prize money for the top 3 via Gcash. Oh yeah, and finally, good evening to the Piosaurus. Anybody there who's just joined as I'm about to leave. Anyhow, good night, everybody, and we're more than likely to have another track talk on Tuesday. I'm supposed to be Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, but you know, 3 a week is a bit hectic, and you know, I need to probably get a bit more sleep, as you can see. So tentatively we'll be on Tuesday again, but if we don't have enough news, it's not worth it. And if it's too busy, then I end up just stockpiling the news to the next edition. So good night, everybody, and have a good one. Thanks for tuning in, and bye.